even though you say that you didn't have the journey to get to the money to get to the airport or get on the plane, she consistently made the journeys. You really took risk in those initial days, and got wherever you needed to go,
Yes.
and said, Marie, I'm just gonna have to find a way.
Yes. At the expense, though, a lot of times of food or putting money on, the phone, because in Jamaica the phones at the time were prepaid. Well, that's what I could afford. So,
Yeah.
I don't expect anybody to, especially if you've got dependents and things like that. I don't expect anybody to have to go through that. But for me, this is the first thing that I forgot. It really was uh, kind of like I don't want to say life or death, but like
Yeah.
I saw no other path. I although I didn't burn my bridges when I left the university, I felt like I cannot go back. And I actually left them twice, because I left them once and then I went back for maybe a semester or two.
Can I just say right here, they begged you to come back
They did.
on numerous occasions.
They did.
You
Yes.
didn't burn your bridges. That of
I
course you
didn't
didn't burn
I
your
didn't
bridges.
burn my bridges,
They
but
always wanted you to come back.
I always felt like I can't, this cannot be the story.
Yeah.
Like I had to, figure it out. And yeah, so in the book, Think and Grow Rich, he talks about you have to have a burning desire. And I wasn't sure what he meant. I was like, I don't know what because he said you have to have a burning desire for the thing you want to do. Now, at the time, I was thinking, well, I don't actually know what I want to do. But my burning desire was not working for somebody 9 to 5. So my burning desire was, I'm going to figure this entrepreneurship thing out. I don't know what it's going to be, what it's going to look like. I'm going to figure this money thing out. I'm going to figure out how people do it, and I'm going to do it myself.
I know that one of the things for both of us being in Jamaica and doing this, walking side and side, is that, we done lots of reading, lots of visualization, manifestation, using different tools. And it still took years. It took years of journeying. And at some point, there was a bit of a recognition that, hang on a minute, how long is this going to take? We started wanting to have some time parameters around this. I want other practitioners who are taking this journey to have an understanding that it can take some time, and the journey itself is also part of the delicious experience. That when you get to the place that you imagined 10 years ago or 5 years ago, the kind of the richness of it is that you made a journey to get where you are or where we are right now. It's not just about, okay, I want to move from this place that I don't want to be and step into this place that I do want to be. But the journey and the learning and the people and the lessons is all part of it. So if you feel like you're struggling, if you feel like it, that it's taking too long, I just want you to be encouraged that it's not an overnight thing.
Well, I agree with you, but I would say that now that I know what I'm doing, I and for those that don't know, my journey, I started when I did leave the university. I thought that my business was going to be contracting out social workers to different organizations, and not knowing anything about business, not really having the resources to do it myself. And I finally did get a contract, but after that one contract, it was just, again, more of a journey into, okay, what is my thing going to be? Turns out my thing is coaching. And so now I help social workers get into coaching. And I will say that, it could have been a lot shorter for me had I, had somebody said, "Hey, Eva, coaching is your thing. This is how you do it, A, B, C, D," and showed me, like I show my clients. Like I've had clients who, within 3 or 4 months of working with me, are where it took me 6 years to get to. So, I think there's just something so great about having a coach, and not to say that I didn't follow people online or follow coaches online, but there's a different level of learning when you pay for coaching that you're just not going to get when you don't. And
Mm.
so I did as much as I could for free with the information that I was getting for free online, which got me far. Like I learned how to do my website on my own. I learned how to, write decent copy. I learned how to, think about what a coaching package might be like. Like I learned quite a bit on my own. But in terms of getting clients consistently and charging the right amount and understanding how to articulate my value, for instance, those things I did not have. Creating systems for my clients and things like that, those things I did not have. I needed to pay for, and which I was happy to pay for when I finally could. um, but I agree with you that the journey, even if you do have a coach, even if you do have a model, there's still levels to this. And I would say the levels that are most significant to me are in thinking. There are levels in thinking.
Mm.
And then from the thinking, like CBT, from the thinking, then you operate differently, right? But I think so much differently now, and I would assume that you do too. We think differently now than we did at the beginning of 10 years ago. Let's say, although that wasn't the beginning, but let's just go back 10 years. 10 years ago, you and I are in different places mentally, than we were 10 years ago, even though we've still been on the journey.
One of the things that is important for me is right now, what do you think being a rich social worker is for you right now?
It's a great question for me. So thank you for asking. For me, Marie, what's been so great? What's been so great is when, former students that I've kept in touch with have had children. I'm able to, send them a gift, and, choose a gift on the higher end of the, the baby registry spectrum, right? Financially, I'm able to, send my daughter money, you know, for things that she needs. I'm able to travel, so and really travel and not have any kind of worries about, can I afford this? Can I afford to put gas in the car if I'm driving, or can I afford to buy this plane ticket? Like, so being a rich social worker, and the thing too is I'm able to be generous with the information that I share in my Facebook group with my Facebook members. And if you're not a member of the Facebook group, I really encourage you to join. Instagram, I'm getting to you. It's a muscle that I'm that I'm building, but I'm able to be really generous with the information that I'm giving and the time that I'm spending with people in my group and nurturing my audience, because I can afford to. I can afford to with time. I can afford to with money, and it's just a really great feeling. So being a rich social worker to me, I think has always meant freedom and flexibility, but I'm also feeling like it allows me to be more myself. And I like to think that I'm a giving person. So it allows me to really do as much of that as I'd like to.
I'm in admiration of you in terms of Eva Ford gets her health checks done
Get my
regularly.
health checked. Yeah, I couldn't
Yeah,
do
she's
that.
serious about that.
I could for year in Jamaica for years. My health plan was don't get sick. because couldn't afford to do anything about it. Yeah, I actually had a surgery last year, and just keeping up with medical appointments, like being proactive to make medical checkups, to get medical checkups. Whereas before it's like, okay, if something's wrong, again, because of money, not because I don't care about my body. Um, and yeah, investing in a gym, investing in, like right now I'm in a co-working space, just investing in an assistant. So these are all things that I think of when I think about taking care of me. So yes, thank you for reminding me, because I'm not going to remember that.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Because to me, it's really important. It's
Hmm.
really important to see those see those who are in the journey actually understanding that I'm the vehicle that makes this dream happen. I'm the
Hmm.
vehicle that makes this thing work.
Hmm.
And I think that so many so much of the time, so many practitioners stun you with almost like, what does the driving instructor say you've got a blind side.
Blind spot.
Remember, you've got the blind spot. And I have been amazed in group supervisions, peer supervisions, at what the blind spots can be for social workers.
Mhm.
And what I'm really pleased in terms of, supporting you on your journey is that that's not a blind spot for you. You're talking to me about, going to the dentist, you're talking
Mhm.
to me about checking up scary bumps and lumps, you know,
Mhm.
this woman is very courageous. Um, our rich social worker. So she doesn't shy away from those things. She
Mhm.
keeps on walking into the places where, for some of us, we're not going there. For some of us, we're not taking care of that. It's easier to talk about taking care of others. And although social workers, that's what we do naturally, I'm interested in, how we begin to take care of ourselves, because we are mentors to others, and they
Mhm.
see that part of how we treat ourselves as well. I remember when you were looking at finances and saying, okay, I'm going to face this area of my bank accounts and I'm
Mhm.
going to turn it around, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk into the bank and I'm going to start having a relationship with the people who I have bank accounts and where my funds go. I think that's really, really also a significant and brave thing to do for, social workers
Yeah.
coming from that background.
Yeah, part of that for me was, to just remove the shame of, you know, n- defaulting on a loan, or, not having the amount of money that I'm supposed to have, in the bank account. So, yeah, I know you said I was courageous, but it was kind of like I'm sick and tired of being a captive to this, you know, this money ghost that's over me. Like, I'm really not happy with that. Like, I don't want this anymore. I want to be free, and free emotionally. And one of the things that I found is that when I have taken a look at really messy situations, or defaulting on a loan, like I said, or owing someone money when I told them I'd pay them back in a week, and not getting paid, so I couldn't pay them back, or lights getting turned off. When I face those things, and the more you face them, easier it is. One of the things that someone in the mastermind told me is, they said, listen, what are they going to do? They can't kill you, so you owe money. I owe money, he owes money. The world runs on debt.
Mm,
Don't let this thing phase you. And so, again, those types of conversations, those types of relationships, those types of perspectives have been the ones to I guess, build my courage, or just, show me that, oh, it's not as scary and spooky, and, money is not as mysterious as society would have you believe it is, but it's to the benefit of those that have lots of money, to keep the rest of us in the dark. Not everyone who has lots of money, obviously, but those who keep kind of that system of penalty going. So yeah, Rich Social Worker is ambitiously attempting to kind of, I guess, bring courage to social work when it comes to money and talking about things that have traditionally been scary for us and made us insecure. So hopefully we do that.
Yeah, we do. And what you've just shared is you shared the challenging aspects of dealing with money. But I also remember you stepping, beyond that. And there is one of the things that I would say to your viewers is that there are several different type of money institutions. And I suppose what I want social workers to know, it's not just about clearing debt. Having the conversation is not just about facing fearful things, but also going into dreaming and having somebody there with the financial know-how to get us there. I think the only thing that I, would really want to get your perspective on is, how do you change dreaming to actioning? How do you change
Oh,
that?
that's a good one.
How do you change it?
I mean, I think it just depends on the seriousness of the dream. Like, there's a hoping or an imagining, and then there's a real like intention, right? Intention. I think that's the word. And I hear someone in my family actually who talks a lot about, boy, it would be nice. Boy, it would be nice. Oh, one day maybe I wish I could. But there's no intention behind that wishing and, oh, it would be nice. And one day there's no intention. And, intention is just the thing that says, hey, if you if you have a dream to do something, let's say start a business, at least do the Google search, how to start a business. At least have a conversation, like at least do something to start. But that shows that you have an intention, right? So for me,
I know one of the things that you say to me that I'm always thinking, oh,
a
before I
timeline.
send it to Eva, you
What's your
say, what's the
timeline?
time frame
What's the
around
time
this,
frame? Yeah, what's
Marie?
the time frame?
What's the
What's the
time
time frame?
frame?
Because that means then, like, if you can give me a date and you can set a time frame, that means you have something to work towards. Because on that date, then I'm expecting that you would have done something to move the ball forward. Yeah, I'm big on dates and time frames. The time we're recording this, we're in the middle of 2021, sorry, 2021. And,
Definitely.
today is my day to really, do some projecting for the next, not just 6 months, but for the next year too. Where do I want to be middle of 2022? Where do I want to be by the end of this year? And, I work up until
Christmas.
11:59, December 31.
24.
Yeah, because I'm trying to squeeze every little bit out of the year. But I'm really excited about the next half of this year. I was really excited about the first half of this year. I feel like I've definitely made some progress. I'm happy with where I am. I'm really excited about where I'm going, but I also have the intention. So I have my
So, okay, so let me just get this straight. One is intention. So, because this is really, this is, I think, is pivotal for
Mhm,
people who are going to join us.
mhm.
One is intention. Be intentional about what it is that you're going to do. Do your research. That's what I'm hearing. Second is
Take
time.
some action. Take some action is what.
All right, so
Yeah.
take some action.
Mhm,
Be intentional. Take some action.
mhm.
Second point, you're saying helps move you from the dream into the actioning is put a time frame around this.
Put a time frame, put some accountability around yourself. So that's actually 4 things. So you have your dream. You need to be intentional about it. You need to take some action towards it. You need to put a time frame, right?
Mhm.
And I think what's been huge for me, now I am, if we're looking at personality types, I am what they call an ENFP. I'm an extrovert, and I need accountability. Some people need less accountability. I'm not one of those people. So I need to have, I work better when I have a coach, but I also work great with a weekly accountability call with a girlfriend, and another weekly accountability call with you. I might have an accountability call once a month or something, but I have systems in place where other people are asking me, they're expecting me to follow up with them on, hey, how did things go with what you said you were going to do last week? I have a planner as well, and that's kind of like keeping me accountable to myself, because I can see what I said I was going to do at the beginning of the month, what my intentions were, how did that go. It gives me, this particular planner gives me prompts to kind of grade myself and rate myself at the end of every week and the end of every month. So again, I just put these systems in place to try to keep myself accountable. And just for me, it's not necessarily about I have to get this thing done by this date. The date is there as a checkpoint, but at least I'm moving forward. So I don't beat myself up if I haven't done something by a particular date, but I will. It just means I have to readjust something else, or now I'm behind. So, the date is there again as another form of accountability and to keep me moving forward towards my goals.
There's a lot of things that are going on in my own head, which is how every great conversation should actually leave you is with lots of food for thought. And it's triggering kind of bells in my head, and I'm feeling like there's things for me to attend to. It's been great connecting with you in this kind of full on. I know most of the time we're having like 5-10 minute check-ins, but it's really good to just sit down and think about the journey that has happened thus far. And I'm really, I'm really pleased and I'm really proud of you.
Thank you, friend.
You know that I'm really proud of you. And I'm really glad. And I'm just really pleased that Eva's doing this for all of us. She's generous in spirit. Who you see is who you get. So she's no different off camera than she is on camera. And just really, I pay special attention to every video that comes out and watch it over and over and over and over again, because I think it's really rich food. And it definitely is the information that can support you to go on this journey and to continue on the journey when it gets tough. So Eva, I'm really happy for having you in my life, and keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you so much, friend. Same here. And thank you so much. You were the perfect person to have this conversation with. And I know my viewers are also very happy to see you, because the conversations that we've had on my channel before, they've been like, oh my gosh, I want to see Marie again. So viewers, you're welcome. I believe you can dream, be, do, or have anything you want, but it starts with your mindset. So make sure it's a rich one. See you later.